I got nothing in my fridge. I know we've all been here before. You know, planning for dinner can be tough, but if you have a plan going to the grocery store, you can set up meal prep for the whole week, and you'll know exactly what you're making every night. That's what we're gonna do today.
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes for under $2 a plate.
Boom, boom, boom. I just went shopping. I'm doing a little something called meal prep. That means that everything in this bag is gonna get used across multiple dishes for the week ahead. That means savings, because we're not wasting anything, and it also eliminates me trying to figure out what the heck I'm gonna have on Wednesday night. I'm already gonna know. It's gonna be mandated by the prep that we do now. What do we have? Baguette, heavy cream, lots of kale. Ooh, Parmigiano Reggiano. Rosemary, sweet potato, onions. We got peppers, we got more sweet potato, 3 sausages. So now we got our groceries, guess what? We gotta chop it up so that it's easier to cook when the time comes. As you can see, my vegetables are chopped up. Now I am de-stemming the kale so I can have everything ready for the days ahead. This is an awful lot of kale, but it's testament to the fact that we can eat really healthy despite the fact that we're on a budget. All the kale is there. I say you stick a little piece of paper towel somewhere on the side, in the back, and the bottom, just so that it whisks away the extra moisture that will create soggy kale. This is all ready for the recipe later. Now it is time to make dinner for tonight and also cook off all of these vegetables for the meals that we're gonna make later on so that they're ready to be used and we don't have to wait for them cooking. For my sheet tray, I'm gonna need 3 sprigs of rosemary. Let's start with the onions. This is 1 whole onion for tonight. I'm very excited about this. Sweet potatoes, always great to cook these off. They take such a long time. It's so nice when they're ready for me. We have some bell pepper. I love these, especially when they're roasted in the oven. We've got turkey sausage. We're gonna have 4 of these this evening. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the rest of the sausages are for our other meals later in the week. I'm gonna wash my hands. I think you should poke each sausage just slightly so it doesn't explode in the oven. Boom, 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 boom. We're gonna put some herbs and salt on here. I'm always a fan of putting the oil first because then the things stick to the other things. Boom, 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 boom. Here comes salt. Look, it's sticking to everything because of that olive oil. And now black pepper, paprika for smokiness. Think about it for a second. You're like, what's the deal with this whole meal prep thing? If I were to make one meal for myself right now, it would take as much time as me making these 3 dishes at once. That's why this is so brilliant. It is time efficient. It is turning your labor hours into efficient ones. Garlic powder. Woo! Rosemary. Oh, yes. It is time for us to go into a 425-degree oven for about 25-30 minutes. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Now that everything is cooked, we can start planning for the meals ahead. 3 sausages, that is incredibly satisfying. I highly recommend that you drop the sausage into the pint container. Peppers. I can come home and just have food ready to go. Bah, 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 bah. These are not the meals. These are just ingredients in the meals that are now cooked, which means that we saved time later, which is awesome. Meal prep for life. All right, and look! And now I've got dinner for tonight. Gotta find a nice plump sausage, some sweet potatoes, 2 onions, some peps. Looking healthy, looking very Italian-American street fare sausage, pepper, and onion sandwich if you happen to have some bread lying around. We could spice this up with some Packatura mustard. Why didn't I think of that before? This is only $1.99 per serving and it's got everything that I want in it. But the real smarts of this dish is the fact that I was able to prep ingredients for 2 more awesome dishes, which I'm gonna show you how to make right now. It's not gonna take a lot of time because we already did the legwork. It is time to make a sausage sweet potato kale soup. Normally something that takes a fair bit of time, but since our stuff is already prepped, it's gonna be as quick as water boils. We've got our pre-cooked onions. Let's just chop them up a little bit to soup size. A little bit of olive oil. Yes, these are already cooked, but yes, we wanna give them a little more life. Here comes the sweet potato, straight in, onions in. All right, we've got our sausage all cooked. Let's just get it to soup size. Chop, chop. Nice. So this has literally been 45 seconds. You've got to remember, these are already cooked. So as soon as you smell the aroma and everything's warm, you can get ready for the next step, which of course is to bring in the broth. This is a great time to use that stock that you've got saved in the freezer, the boxed stock, the store-bought stock, whatever you've got, use it. Drop the stock. And since we have such rich flavors, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. This stretches the soup even further, essentially for free. Here we've got a block of Parmigiano Reggiano. Now normally, one throws out the rind. It's a delicious thing that Italians use in their soups. You can either cut it off now, because you're never gonna grate it, or when you're at the end of your Parmesan, wrap it up and put it in the freezer, because this is the perfect time for that. It is free flavor. A little pepper, some salt, and now we've got our rosemary. As we're bringing this up to a boil, this is a wonderful thing to put in and pull out that gives you flavor. I believe the French call it a bouquet garni. Bouquet garni, of course, means little satchel of flavors, which are fresh. Tis time for our kale. Drop the kale! All right, I'm saving the rest of this for my next recipe. Let's fold in that kale. Top on. 15 minutes of simmering with the top on. Ding, 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 the ding, ding, ding. 15 minutes have passed. Woo, baby! I like to add the cream now. Here we go. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at that. You can pull out the rosemary. The flavor has gone into the soup. Let's get some bread. Baguette. Okay, we could save the baguette for later. Soup in. Got some side breadies. All right, so we got a big hearty bite. Now I got a brothy. Gotta get the sausage. Put that in. Since we bought cheese in block form, which is loaded with savings and flavor that keeps on giving, I think it's a perfect time to shave some Parmigiano right on top. This soup is only $1.96, and not only is it loaded with flavor, but it was one of the fastest soups to whip up ever. And that's because I had the foresight to pre-cook ingredients a couple days ago that I used in this soup, which means I didn't have to wait now. What else can we make with those ingredients we cooked on a sheet tray last Sunday? Let's find out. One word. When in doubt, frittata. That's more than one word, but what I mean is that the frittata is the perfect vehicle for leftover or meal prepped items, because everything becomes one, and it looks awesome, and it's delicious, and you can eat it hot or cold, and everyone loves it. So here I've got the rest of my vegetables and sausages. It's time to make a frittata. Andiamo. Okay, crack the eggs. Perfecto! Here's the rest of our heavy cream, some salt, some pepper. I'm gonna put about half a cup of our Parmesan cheese in here. Remember we used this on the soup? It's also perfect in a frittata. I have a very advanced formula. It is the size of your pan minus 2. 12-inch pan, 10 eggs. 10-inch pan, 8 eggs. You with me? That's a really, really good starting place. Boom! Butter in the pan. Pre-cooked sausages. I'm going for discs. Our vegetables are pre-cooked. It's really up to you if you want to chop these up. I say go rustico, man. Why don't we just eat them this way? Man, if I had to make these 3 things just for this frittata, I'd be like, forget it, man, it's too difficult. But because I did it the other day, this is starting to look like a really good idea. Sausages go in. Everything is pre-cooked, and that means we can come right in with our egg cheese cream mixture. Oh, baby. Mix it around. Let's just get a little solidification happening here. All right, the frittata is looking pretty good. Now this finishes in the oven, 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. Right about now is when I'd be checking to make sure you don't have a plastic handle. Andiamo nel forno. Ooh, that is gorgeous. Can we just talk about that for a second? How about we make some really nice little toasty, crispy things to go with this bad boy? We've got the bread. Maybe in season 7 we'll be able to afford a bread knife. Right now, the struggle's real, man. Boom! Angle, baby. Packet drawer butter. The greatest flavor that has ever come from an udder. You know, spicy toast is really one of the perfect ways to use the rest of your baguette when it's starting to get a little, stale. These are crispy, and then it gets rehydrated in the oven by the butter. To the packet drawer for flavor in the form of red pepper flakes. Oh, that's gonna be a really spicy one. All right, a little bit of salt. 425, 2 to 4 minutes. Use your eyeballs, these burn fast. And now for the third component to our frittata. The rest of our kale. Bowl. So vibrant and fresh thanks to that single piece of paper towel. We're gonna come in with some olive oil. And now we are going to give the kale a Swedish massage. Massaging your kale with oil is also a great way to save oil because the oil is getting into every little nook and cranny of the kale when you put your hands in there. Otherwise, it's just like hanging onto the surface. A little bit of lemon. And now just a little bit of salt. That's all we need. Mix it up a little bit more. Ho! Why don't we eat this thing? This is enough frittata for 5 people. Boom. Oh, our little crispy crunchies are ready. I'm gonna take the spicy one. Very nice. Kale. Boom. Whoa! There's something about sausage, peppers, onion, egg, and cheese that just blows my mind. Maybe it's that Southern Italian ancestry I've got, but this tastes like home. It is flavorful, it is delicious. Let me sugarcoat it for you. Use all your food, and when in doubt, make a frittata. This serving right here is only $1.95. I'm super jazzed about it because it's a complete meal with textural, flavoral, and nutritional variety. And it really didn't take me a whole lot of time to make it because I prepped most of the ingredients in the frittata a couple days ago. Which means that when I set out to make this, the amount of time I spent today was minimal, which is good because sometimes I get hangry. And I'll state the obvious one more time. Because we meal prepped, we got 3 different dishes and we used all the food. The number one reason food is expensive is because 40% of it is going into the garbage. That's why this is brilliant. If we use it all, we're getting the most bang for our buck. That's what it's all about, baby. Meal prep for life.